Alright, welcome to day 7. We are officially at the halfway mark with the course. There's going to be 7 more days to make a total of 14 days. So today we're going to be starting linear quadratic systems. Basically what that means is you're going to have a linear system, which is a line, and you're going to have a quadratic system, which is a U-shape. And the whole point of this is to try and figure out where the line crosses the U-shape. So in the end, when you graph this, you're going to have a U-shape, kind of like this, and you're going to have a line running through it. And what you'll notice is the line crosses the U-shape at 2 points. Now, sometimes it'll only cross at 1 point. Sometimes it doesn't even cross at any point. So it's important to know how to do this by algebra. Alright, so let's try number 1 together. This video may run a little bit long because, well, there's just no other way to do it except to make the video run long. So let's get started. What you're going to find out with these questions is that the left-hand side, the y's, they tend to disappear quite early. What we're going to do is we're going to set these two lines equal to each other. So I've got my x squared plus 8x plus 11, and I'm going to set that equal to the x plus 1 below it. For these questions, I always want you to put the x squared on the left side and put the regular x on the right side. Alright, so what I want to do next is I want to make this side equal to 0. I want to make the right side equal to 0. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to do opposites. If I see a positive x, then I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So now what you notice is I've subtracted x from both sides. And when I subtract the x, I make sure that I match it up with the other x that's already on this side. Also, that plus 1 has to go somewhere. Since I've got a plus 1, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, then I draw my line. And we'll see what we have at the very end. First off, we know that 1 minus 1 is 0. We know that x minus x is 0. So this entire right side is going to go to 0. And I bring down my equal sign. Over here, nothing has happened to the x squared yet, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that down. And looking at this, I have 8x minus 1x. That's going to give me 7x. Over here, with the regular numbers, I have 11 minus 1. That's just going to give me 10. Positive 10. Okay, so now at this point, I have everything on the left side and nothing on the right side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to factor the left side. Notice that the left side can always be factored in these questions that I give you. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find two numbers that'll multiply to 10, but at the same time add up to 7. And I know those two numbers are going to be 5 and 2. So we're going to break this down into x plus 5 and x plus 2. And the right side is still equal to 0. Now we can take those individual factors inside the parentheses and we can set both of those equal to 0. So I got x plus 5 equals 0 for the first one, and for the second one I'm going to have x plus 2 equals 0. Alright, so now we solve both of these equations. I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to have to subtract 5 from both sides. And I get x equals 0 minus 5. That's going to give me negative 5. On this side, I've got x plus 2 equals 0. To get rid of the plus 2, I'm going to have to subtract 2 from both sides. Notice that the 5 minus 5 and the 2 minus 2 cancel out, so I don't have to worry about those on the left side. On the right side, I have 0 minus 2, and we all know that's negative 2. Alright, so I know what my x values are going to be. Negative 5 and negative 2. Now that we have the x values, we can find the y values, right? Because we still have to figure out what y is. Now remember back in the beginning when I told you that the y's were going to disappear? Well, they're about to come back. What we're going to do with these x values is we're going to plug them into one of these two equations at the top. And it really doesn't matter which one you plug them into. I usually plug them into the easiest equation, so the easiest at this point is going to be that y equals x plus 1 up here. So let's go ahead and try that. Over here I have x equals negative 5, so y equals x plus 1. I'm just getting that from the top. If x is negative 5, then what's y going to be? Go ahead and let x be negative 5 so we can figure that out. So I got y equals, what is x? Negative 5. So let me just plug in negative 5 in for x. And then I got plus 1 at the end. And then negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. So for every x value, there's going to be a y value. Let's try this one over here. I've still got y equals x plus 1. Remember, I got that from the top, up here. And this time, we're going to let x be negative 2 and see what happens. So the y hasn't changed yet. The x is going to change it to the negative 2. I've still got that plus 1 at the end. So now we know that y equals negative 2 plus 1, which is negative 1, I'm pretty sure. Okay? So now I've got two different answers. I've got an x value and a y value. The way that we're going to write these is we're going to write them as ordered pairs. Now remember when we talk about ordered pairs, we're always going to have an x value on the left side and we're always going to have a y value on the right side. We're going to write them this way. We're always going to put the x on the left and we're always going to put the y on the right. And why is that? Well, it's always been that way. Okay? So x is negative 5, so just let x be negative 5. And we know that the y is negative 4, so I'm going to let y be negative 4 over here. And then for this solution over here, we know that x is negative 2, so just let x be negative 2. And we know that y is negative 1, so we're just going to let y be negative 1. Once you get these two ordered pairs, you're done. Okay? Let's go ahead and try the next one. And I'll do this one a little bit more quicker than I did the last one, so let's go ahead and try it. For the top line, I have y equals x squared plus 7x plus 3. I go ahead and bring that down. X squared plus 7x plus 3. And I've got that set equal to what's going to be on the bottom, that x minus 5. Alright, I want to make the right side equal to 0, so to get rid of this positive x, I need to subtract x from both sides. And to get rid of this minus 5, I've got to add 5 to both sides, right? Because the whole point of doing this step is to make sure that the right side goes to 0. So, let's try that. X minus x is 0, negative 5 plus 5 is 0, so the whole right side goes to 0. The left side is going to give me x squared. 7x minus 1x is just 6x. And 3 plus 5 is going to give me 8. Okay, let's factor the left side. I need to multiply to 8, add to 6, so I need 4 and 2. So x plus 4, x plus 2. So I get two different equations. X plus 4 equals 0. and x plus 2 equals 0. Let's solve both of these for x. Subtract 4 from both sides here. We get x equals 0 minus 4, that's negative 4. And over here, I have to subtract 2 from both sides. So minus 2, and I get x equals, what, 0 minus 2? That's negative 2. So now I've got my x values. Now what I'm going to do to find my y values is I'm going to plug back into one of the original equations. Doesn't matter which. Usually though, in practice, I choose the easiest one. So let's choose the x minus 5. So I've got y equals x minus 5. Y equals x minus 5. And first off, let's let x equal negative 4 and see what happens. So if x is negative 4, I got negative 4 minus 5, that's going to be negative 9. Over here on this side, x is negative 2. So let's just let x be negative 2 and see what happens. Negative 2 minus 5, that is negative 7. So now I've got my x values, I've got my y values, so now I'm ready to write my ordered pairs. Remember, ordered pairs, they're always going to be written as x comma y, so let's try that. My first x value was negative 4, so let's write that down. And then the y for that was negative 9, right? Done with that one. Over here, the x value is negative 2. And the corresponding y value is negative 7. So let me write that down. And then once you got your ordered pairs, you are done. Okay? So for your homework tonight, what I decided to do is to just give you 2 questions because these are kind of involved, as you can probably tell. Make sure you upload your solutions before midnight and have a good day.